All right, good morning, everyone. All right, good morning. Let's go ahead and get started. All right, firstly, let's first jump into our economic data. I'm using forexfactory.com for the calendar. Today is the 11th, of course. And here's what we have so far. Um, we have we had NFIB Small Business Index, which was at 90.1, higher than, I guess, the expectation, but within the range, I guess. So no surprise there. IMF meeting still going on at 1:30 p.m. We've got FOMC member Goolsby speaking. That should have some modest impact on the market. But then we've got FOMC member Harker speaking at 6 o'clock Eastern, 7:30 Eastern. We got FOMC member Kaskari speaking. So most of the FOMC members will be speaking after the market is already closed, so it won't have much of an impact on the day. We do have some news that will be coming out tomorrow. Of course, we'll discuss that pre-market tomorrow. But as you can see, tomorrow will be pretty busy, right? Lots of stuff coming out. So let's jump into what was moving yesterday as far as stocks are concerned. All right. So here's what we had. We had a lot of stocks actually that did pretty well yesterday. Let's just go over a few of them. So this wasn't one of the top, but I just want to put this one out there. Airbnb wasn't one of the top performers, but you can see clearly had a pretty good run. Now, this pattern that we see here, where we went up at first, perhaps came down, and then resumed, that is a pattern you're going to see on a lot of stocks yesterday. The overall NASDAQ was performing that way. So, therefore, you'll see a lot of stocks that sold off and then rebounded sharply. Okay. So, at the beginning of the day, Airbnb actually did look fairly good. It starts off the day neutral, and then it immediately starts to go up. After that, sells off and then resumes. These two opportunities here in particular were fairly good. So hopefully take advantage of those, or one of them. We had Marvel, which was much more directionally biased to the upside. So you have a sharp move up there at the open, very steady, followed by some mild consolidation, building up to the next move up. But then after that, it just kind of gradually moved up all the way to the end of the day. As you can see, closing near the high of the day. So pretty bullish. All right, next up, we have Riot, which had a phenomenal day yesterday. Started off slow, mostly downtrending at first for the first, I'll say almost 30 minutes, and then nice reversal there, paused, and then it did have a sharp sell off. So this part here, definitely exploitable, but then you had a very sharp pullback here with the rest of the market at the same time. And then, bam, right into a nice uptrend, nice reversal. And then from there, it just went on a run all the way to the end of the day. Right. Next up, we have Mara, which also had a fantastic day. First, the pullback, and then gets into a nice uptrend, right? All the way to the end of the day. Pullback here obviously is exploitable, but nevertheless, mostly in the upside direction were most of the benefits yesterday. Nvidia, very nice day. Starts the day off a little rocky and then jumps into a trend, breaks away from that early consolidation, and then basically just trends almost into the end of the day, right? Closing near the high as well. Then we had Tesla. Tesla also had a really good day. First, start off really sharp move down at first. Once it hit 176, turned around, chopped around, and then finally got into a trend. Notice again that sharp downtrend in the middle of the day, which we saw for nearly every stock in the NASDAQ, and then bam, we get into a nice trend up. Okay. Next up, we've got AMD. Okay. AMD starts off fairly neutral, but immediately gets into a nice trend up, hits the highs, and then goes neutral. Okay. All right, next up, we got Lyft. Lyft, nice move up, neutral at first, sells off, then gets into a nice trend to the upside. Very good. Okay. So again, the same pattern we saw for a lot of stocks. We have Micron was on our list, but in my opinion, this wasn't the best opportunity except right at the opening bell. You had this very nice sharp rise in the price. Then it just topped out for the rest of the day pretty quickly. So, not in my opinion the best opportunity of the day, but if you caught it early, it was pretty good. All right, next up we've got GCTK, which was a awesome opportunity. This was one of the pre-market scan stocks that we found yesterday. For those of you who watched the pre-market pulse, yesterday you saw this was one of the stocks that came up on our radar. Very sharp move up, very quick, taking us from about $1.56 all the way up to 372. So the stock basically doubled in price, more than doubled in price in that morning. So great opportunity there for those who held on. And some other stocks, but none of them did anything really impressive. So we'll skip them. All right. So over say JFBR, that didn't do anything. And we had ONCS, that didn't do anything either. Well, it did for a little bit. Had a nice move up at first, but that was about it. And then it had a sharp sell off. All right. So these were the stocks that were the ones that we mostly watched. There are plenty of other stocks that are moving yesterday. We look at the NASDAQ as a whole. Yesterday started off continuing a sell off that apparently started in the Asian session going into the European session, even though European stocks were not trading. But nevertheless, that time of day, prior to the open, we had a sell off, right? And then we get into yesterday. First, it was a sell off, and then market gets into bullish action. Again, that sharp pullback in the middle of the day, and then a sharp recovery, and then it continues. Okay. So let's take a look at what's moving today pre-market. All right. So let's do that. Excuse me. All right. See a lot of cheap stocks that are not above $1 that were moving. We'll skip those. All right. Looks like we have a few that we should look at here. So let's take a look. First up, let's take a look at BNRG. All right. Good move yesterday. I think that was one of our scan. That wasn't one of the stocks in our pre-market scan. Currently trading at $1.75, 1 million shares, up 29%. Looks like, yeah. Okay. Worth considering. So we'll put that on our radar for this morning. Good morning. All right. Let's see. Mara looks like it is active pre-market, but let's see how active. Okay, only 4.29% up, trading 1.4 million shares. Since it had a pretty good day yesterday, and Mara does have a tendency to move, we'll watch it at the open, see if it has any follow through. Okay, the stock, no. Nope. Okay, here's one that, well, I'll show it to you. This one looks interesting, but let's just go over it really quick. All right, so this is CMND. We're not going to look at this on our radar because, as you can see, it's trading at 67 cents, which is too cheap. But it did reach a high of $1.15 pre-market. So I'll put this on my possibility radar, meaning that I'll make a note to keep an eye on it to see if it starts to get to the price range that we want. But as of right now, It is not qualified for us to trade. Okay, we got Lucy. This is a real mover. Trading 7 million shares, 118%. As you can see, this thing is actively moving. Quotes are changing, etc. Stock went from about $1.50 to where it is now, over 100% in the pre-market alone. So it's looking pretty powerful. Innovative eyewear stock doubles after releasing Chat GPT enabled glasses. All right. Well, Chat GPT is obviously a big deal. So we'll see what happens there. All right. So that's Lucy, Lucy. Next up, we've got Tesla. All right. Tesla currently up only 1.3%, about 2 million shares. I'm not going to put this on our radar since it doesn't look like it's doing anything particularly unusual compared to like the NASDAQ. Looks about the same. So since it doesn't look that different, no reason to add that to our list right now. All right, next up is JFBR. All right, trading 2 million shares, 2.13%. Not very active. We saw this yesterday. This stock moved greatly after the market had closed. This is actually the pre-market today. So after it closed yesterday, it just went flat. And then pre-market day, bam, you get this big move up and then it sells off. So not really what I'm looking for. Want something that's more active during the day. So I won't put this on our radar again. It was there yesterday, but it didn't do anything. Maybe it moves today, but previous day, it was active as well in the pre-market. So this looks like more of a, maybe a buy and hold kind of opportunity, not really a day trading opportunity. All right, next up we've got ZFox. All right, this one's fairly active. ZFOX. We'll take a look at that. Currently trading 7.6 million shares, up 69%. Trading higher after the company announced it partnered with Google Cloud to disrupt phishing attacks and malicious URLs. Okay, sure. That looks about it. From what I can see, that looks like it's everything. Do you folks see any other stocks that jump up on your radar that you think would be good for us to take a look at? If so, let me know in the chat and I will take a look at them. Any stocks that are trading at least 1 million shares, pre-market, NASDAQ stock, good volatility. Let's see, WW. Let's find out. Okay, that looks like something. Yep, that looks like something. Trading 1.6 million shares, 30%, I would say. Yeah, looks interesting enough. So we'll go ahead and take a look at that. I'll add that to our radar. Good spot there, Bill. Any other stocks, folks, that look interesting that I didn't mention already? So far, we got BNRG, MARA, Lucy, ZFox, and WW. Like I said, CMND, if it were at a higher price, it would be on our radar, but it's not. So it's not. All right. So while I'm waiting to see if anything else comes up, couple things. looking at the NASDAQ, thank you, Jackie. I'll take a look in a second. Looking at the NASDAQ, fairly flat, right? Open, looks like we're going to open roughly where we closed yesterday, 0.6%, 0.07%. The QQQ hasn't even traded a million shares yet. So not looking like it's going to be a strong opening. Don't have a lot of news either, so might be a repeat of yesterday where we have most of the movement at the open. And then after that, either things just continue on the same trend. But since we do have the FOMC minutes coming out this week, I would expect that we will have a little more volatility today as people start to square away positions in anticipation of the FOMC minutes, which I believe comes out tomorrow. Should be at 2 o'clock. Let me just confirm that again. Yep, 2 o'clock tomorrow. We also have G20 meeting starting and the Bank of Canada press conference. So tomorrow's going to be pretty active. So I think we're going to see a lot of positioning. So today might be active and volatile throughout the day. All right, MU, Micron. Well, here's the problem. Micron's not trading enough shares, only 72,000. So that doesn't qualify. You just see some stocks that are trading at least a million shares. Of course, NASDAQ stocks, a million shares, decent change in price. So no, that wouldn't count for what we're looking for. Maybe it does something during the day, which is fine, but pre-market it's not doing what we want to get our attention at the open. All right. So I guess we'll wrap up for now. And I'll see everyone in the coaching room who's part of the program in a few, about 10 minutes. Now, if you're not in the coaching room, be sure to check out fundertrading.com. If you're watching this broadcast, be sure to like and subscribe to our channel, but also check out our website, fundertrading.com. You'll learn more about how we fund traders, and looking forward to seeing you in the program, hopefully. Okay. Other than that, have a fantastic trading day, folks, and I'll see you guys in the coaching room shortly. Take care.